Filipinas are ruthless. They don't love you or like you. Actually, they can't stand you. They're good actors and scammers to help themselves survive, get pregnant with hybrid children and then use their own kids as life insurance policies. Their prey is old, dumb, gullible, caring and kind men to take care of advantage of. They want your money, you're not sexy to them, you're gross. And it's painful to be with you, and they're also banging other guys. So don't get all excited. Sorry to drop all the truths on you. Don't be gullible, fellas. Take care of your business and split. So that's a pretty harsh statement, pretty harsh comment I found in the comment sections. And I have to say, yes, these women unfortunately exist, these kind of Filipinas. And yeah, some of them are like that. But the question is, did he only meet that kind of women? It seems to be the case. And also the question is, where did he find these kind of women? And I want to talk about it in this video, about this matter. Because I also have made similar experiences. I met these kind of women and then I also jumped into these conclusions. Yeah? But before I continue with this, I actually know a good way, a trustworthy way, where you can find different kind of Filipinas, yeah? Good Filipinas. And this is a dating service. It's called Christian Filipina, and I recommend it because it's friendly, it's conservative, and you can easily meet new friends online and safely get to know them. For me, it is the #1 trusted dating service for especially Christian singles, yeah, who are looking for faith-based relationships. I think that's very important. And yeah, this is the only service I really trust and recommend, and you can find the link in the description. Check it out and see if this is something for you. Now back to the topic of today. This pretty rough and severe comment by this viewer about Filipinas and his experience. I want to be honest with you. I thought along the same lines for quite some while, many years back. When I came to the Philippines the first times and dated Filipinas and blah, blah, blah. I've done videos about this, my experiences with my first Filipina girlfriend, my first Filipina bar girl experience, and some of you and some of my viewers are familiar with these stories and with my background. But yes, I was stuck in this mindset also, because when I came to the Philippines the first time, or before I even came to the Philippines, I lived in Hong Kong and I started to date Filipinas there, but also in certain areas only, and it was a certain category of women. I'm talking about the bar girls or the prostitutes or gold diggers and scammers, whatever you want to call it. And of course, if you hang out with these women, deal with them, the risk is much higher to run into trouble, right? And I dealt with these women for a few years in the beginning, and I also came to these conclusions, you know, these were my first impressions, yeah. And I also met these women on certain dating sites, which I do not recommend at all. And Yeah, and I dealt a lot with so-called gold diggers and scammers and liars and stuff like that. But of course, this can happen anywhere in Southeast Asia or in the world, right? We don't need to forget this. You know, you have women in every country you have good women, you have not so good women, you have scammers, you have bar girls, you know. So, but I also want to say this. We have to beware of not watching too many YouTube videos also, and especially reading to some comments, you know. I mean, I do YouTube videos and I hope they provide some value. I try to share my experience and try to share what I've learned. Basically, that's the purpose of my videos. And the comment sections also are still very helpful. And I know some people don't even watch the videos, they just look through the comments. The comment sections, also in my experience, can be a true gold mine. It's unbelievable. Not talking only about my videos, but I watch also other YouTube videos, other channels, you know, not only necessarily about dating in Southeast Asia. I have also different interests. And regardless, the comment sections anywhere can be a true gold mine. Yeah? There are so many people who are smart, intelligent, have great experience in a variety of fields and areas, and it's amazing what I have been learning from other people who don't have YouTube channels, who just comment. It's amazing. The comment sections also for me is a great learning tool still today, and I read all my comments. At least I read them. I don't answer necessarily all of my comments, you know, especially not the trolls and stuff, you know, but anyway, what I want to say is this is the good thing, but also it's a double-edged sword, right? Watching too many YouTube videos, especially maybe negative YouTube videos about the Philippines or Filipinas, you get into a certain echo chamber, you adopt a certain mindset and opinion, and then you read through these comments, you know, and then you get biased, you know, in a negative way. And this is what we have to, or you also have to be careful of, you know. The best way is always boots on the ground. You travel to the Philippines and then you make your own personal experience, because nothing can beat personal experience. Not watching 1,000 YouTube videos a day and reading through 50,000 comments. This is a tool. Watching videos is a tool and reading through comments is a tool. But you also need to discern between the good and the bad comments. Boots on the ground. Yeah? And you know how it goes also in other areas in life. Bad comments, negative talk spreads very quickly, especially online, right? But the good things nobody barely mentions, right? I come from the hospitality industry, and I can tell you that hotel operations heavily also rely on sites like TripAdvisor, Booking.com, Expedia.com, and all the hotel guests who book a room can also afterwards rate the hotels. And I remember very serious morning briefings we had with our department heads and the general manager every morning, and how worked up our general managers got because of these negative comments. Yeah? And one negative comment stays a long time in the mind of the people. There's a statistic even, I think, you need 10 positive comments to eradicate one negative comment. Yeah, so it's like that. And that's why people always focus more on the negative things, but they get a totally distorted and biased view of things and perspectives. But the reality also is, and the fact is, that many Western men are happily married to Filipinas already for decades. And they live in the Philippines or they live outside of the Philippines. They live in the United States, they live in Germany, they live in Europe, they live anywhere. They even live in Zanzibar in Tanzania. I know one of my colleagues, he's a Spanish guy, he's married to a Filipina. So they are happily married. Many of them. So how come this guy can make such a rude comment about Filipinas? The one I read in the beginning. So how to manage this risk, right? How to manage, how to avoid this risk of running into these women. You have to stay away from certain areas like the red light districts, girly bars, and then the things I already mentioned, because it seems that this viewer who made this comment, he only met a certain type of woman. And this certain type of women you can find in certain areas. I know that because this is also my experience. I hung out at these places for quite some time. And these low-class scammers, let's call them like this, okay? They have no respect for guys like him anyway. Yeah, for sure. That's why, because these girls have no respect, they treat these guys accordingly. And then in return, these guys or this guy concludes and comes up with this statements, right, and opinions. These low-class scammers, I was thinking about this, and I also think there is maybe they have an unconscious disgust for these men, because these men, they hook up with, I don't know, with prostitutes or bar girls or other shady women, and then maybe even these women have already an unconscious disgust for these men, and that's why they have no respect for these men, and therefore also treat them accordingly, right? And also don't forget that these girls working in these bars and hanging out in these places, massage parlors maybe also, most of them have an agenda. So, and then reason number 2 is maybe that these girls anyway have a low self-esteem and low self-respect, So that's why they also engage in these activities, It's like a cycle, So low self-esteem, low self-respect women meet low self-esteem, low self-respect guys, And I can tell you from my own experience that I also suffered from low self-esteem at the time. But we also know that the truth is always be in the middle, right? There are many good girls in the Philippines. This should be a no-brainer. But of course, there are also many opportunists, right? Many women in the Philippines also, in my experience, are opportunists. We all are, men, women around the world, somehow opportunists, right? But I hear these comments several times that especially Filipinas are opportunists. And I agree, but that also has to do with the economic situation in the Philippines, and I don't want to judge these women for that, because it is very hard for us Western. Number one, we are Western and we are guys. We are not even women. It is very hard for us and difficult for us as Western guys to put ourselves in their shoes, the Filipino shoes, right? Because we don't know how it is to live in the Philippines, all the challenges they have, the economic challenges. Yeah, still great economic challenges, and we don't know that. Yeah, so we have to be careful about judging even these bad Filipinas. Yeah, and I think being opportunistic is just a survival strategy at the end of the day for all of us, you know. So I don't want to talk more about being opportunistic. It is just my observation also, without actually judging it. It also can be a good thing, right? What do you want to do? You need to survive somehow, so you have to come up with all kinds of different strategies. And some people, including the girls, including the Filipinas, are a little bit more, have a little bit less integrity, you know, are a little bit more ruthless. And then you have other girls who are full of integrity. They are there in the Philippines, yeah. And it is the same like in any country. The people with less integrity, they are in a minority. Yeah, the vast majority of people also in the Philippines, I believe and know, are good people with ethics, morals, values and principles. Yeah. So my advice is, in order to avoid these women the guy is talking about in his comment, to make sure you also meet good Filipinas, you know, because there are plenty of them. My advice is to be on guard. So when you come to the Philippines, you are a first timer or a second timer or a third timer, or even you already live a long time in the Philippines and still wondering why you always run into these scammers and gold diggers and bar girls. Yeah, if you run into a bar, you run into bar girls. It's a no-brainer, right? But you know, it sounds like a no-brainer, but some guys really are still puzzled today. They're wondering, why are all Filipinas so bad? Because you hang around in the wrong areas and circles, you meet the wrong women. You know, that's the reason. My advice is, again, to be on guard and be highly selective. Yeah? And meet face to face. Again, this is the boots on the ground rule, and take your time. Yeah? I read another comment by a guy. It was very funny actually, but it's also very true. He said, it concerns taking your time. He said, every guy, every Westerner who comes to the Philippines and enters the Philippines, and when he is at the immigration counter, the Philippine immigration should actually put a stamp into the passport of all the Western guys who enter the Philippines, which says, welcome to the Philippines, enjoy and take your time. And I find it a great comment, because this is so true, you know. Not rush. Take your time and enjoy, you know. And also, we have to work, I include myself, you know. Even I claim I have learned a lot already, but I don't want to say you have to. So we have to work also, or because I had to do that as well, to work on our discernment and our judgment. Yeah? Because if you say all Filipinas are bad, then it proves that you don't have proper judgment. I mean, how can you come up with this kind of stupid, really unreasonable statement? Yeah, you may be hurt and this and that, but when we look rationally at the facts, this is a very unreasonable judgment. It has nothing to do with reality. We have to improve our discernment about these women, our judgment, and we have to improve especially our reasoning, our logic. Yeah, we have to learn to analyze this passionately. That's a hard task. Yeah. reasoning, proper reasoning, not just rationalization, you know. We rationalize every day 100,000 times, but rationalization or rationalizing is not reasoning, not proper reasoning. So, long story short, we have to work on ourselves. This is the big problem here also. We have to improve ourselves. We have to work on ourselves. We have to work on our. You have to work on yourself, and I have to work on myself. We have to get to work on ourselves. To see things how they really are, and not just jump into conclusions and tell the whole world. That cannot be the solution here, you know. And that's why I do my videos here, to try to shed a little bit of light into this matter, you know. So we have to learn what is good and what is not so good. Not only in dating, dating Filipinas, you know, or dating Indonesian women or dating Thai women. Learning what is good and what is not good also refers to areas like your health, you know, your finances, big topic, and your relationship with other people, your social life, right? So this is what we have to improve. Our ability to discern and to judge properly. And then when we learn and improve that, and when we also start to think properly and reason properly and analyze properly without our emotional baggage, then we start to think clearly, and we see the reality for what it really is, and not this statement, what I read in the beginning, actually is a very good example for the opposite of what I'm advocating here, you know. So, yeah, we have to learn to discern. And what I have discerned is that, for example, Christian Filipina, the dating service, is a good opportunity to meet good Filipinas, and the link you will find in the descriptions. And with that being said, I'm checking out for today. I'm really looking forward to your comments, what you have to say. I know many of you are in a relationship with a Filipina, not the first time, but also many of you are married to a Filipina, happily married, you know. And I want to hear your point of view. What do you think about that statement I read in the beginning? Am I correct in my analysis that this guy only met a certain type of woman, and therefore, and continued to do this over maybe a long period of time, and then had no other chance than to come up with this kind of opinion about Filipinas? Or do you say, this guy is absolutely right, you know, the Philippines really sucks and it's a bad country and the Filipinas are all scammers? Are you saying the same thing? Is this your opinion as well? Let us know in the comment section. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna see you in one of my next videos. Take care. Bye bye.